Okay, so I was attempting to do this as a selfie thing and then flip the screen, but I can't. So I have Ginger here, and she's one of the prong collar dogs. So here's my prong collar talk. I tend to, plus I have a new one, or not a new client, but a client that they need help. So here's my talk about this stuff. I'm not opposed to anything that is going to help a dog and a person be successful. Oh, I see how that got spun around. Okay, so I have talked more people out of these than I've got onto them. However, and there's been some where I've said, well, let's do some work. And then they've been like, no, we got to do something like right now, right? So some people will be like, yeah, sure, okay, let's get some work in and then see if we still need it. And some people are like, no, we got to do something now. So sometimes the dog actually does need these things. I've found more often than not, it's the person that needs them. So anyways, this part is, I want to talk about the different clasps. So the guys that are pros with these, they will tell you not to get any of these weird clasps. So like, see, here's a center clasp. Here's how it works. This is a center clasp. I gotta fix it. It's crooked. It's backwards. Right. So what happens is, bam, bam, bam. There's a little bit of pressure, and it's like I told a client's mom yesterday. Yes, there's some discomfort and some pain to it, but it's not like it's hurting them. If it's fit right, all it is like a poke in the shoulder, right? It's not stabbing, it's not torture, it doesn't hurt, right? It should be similar to doing this. Hey dude, that's it, right? So this is a center clasp. I found that a lot of ladies or people with more maybe physical issues, older people, these clasps are better, right? So there's a center clasp right there, and then this one is a quick release clasp. So what the guys that use these a lot want you to do is take them off by these. I've found that it's hard on people and the dogs, right? So even though I don't use them much, so this one, it goes in the hole. I'm trying to look in the screen and do this at the same time. And then this comes back around. You got to make sure your chain is straight, right? And then boom. So see, you have to work on your dog being calm and sitting there, right? Boom. So here's the deal. She had one that was from the store that they gave her, right? You see how these things go opposite ways? The one from the store went the same way. Those are the ones that are not good because that's what's going straight into her neck. These are designed to go away from the sensitive parts, right? So now this is how I use it. So those guys, a lot of times from puppyhood, they'll condition them with food so it's a positive thing. And you'll hear the positive only people say, oh, they're terrible, torture, blah, blah. But then they do the same exact thing with gentle leaders, which are way worse than these are. Ginger. Good girl. Give me a sit. All right. So until I fix hers, I'm using this one. Right. So I've only ever used these correctively. Right. I left the leash over there. So she should sit and hold it. Good job, girl. All right. I've only ever used them correctively, right? So I've never done it from a puppy and put it on. The people that are pros with them do that. So this is what I always tell people, make sure you get your walk pretty good first. Like you should be able to do your heel drills and just hit leash pressure, right? And then they should start following you. So then you get it going pretty good. Then you've got a high energy dog like this with a low energy owner. They need help, right? At first, she needed help to calm her brain down. Those corrections will help lower the energy. Usually what I try to do is I try to go from a regular collar to the slip lead to avoid going to the more aversive tools. But some people say just put it on there and go, dude. You know what I mean? So anyways, this is what I do. Excuse me. Ready? Heel. Good. So then you're doing your heel work, right? She didn't pay attention, there's a correction, right? Good. Now she didn't need a correction, so I can give her the food, right? Good. Right? Did you see her freak out? No. Let's see if I'm gonna mess her up on purpose, right? And you'll hear a lot of people say, oh, they're setting them up to fail. Yeah, you set them up to fail. So if we set them up to fail, they have some form of knowledge for when the owner then has to do the same exact thing, right? That's it. Did she lick her lips there? Yeah, she licked her lips there. I don't care. She's got to follow her mama, right? Her mom is, maybe she's tall. Oh, good girl, right? I don't know. She may be like this tall, but she's a smaller lady, right? Sometimes ladies need more help. Good girl. She's eyeing that food, but she turned with me, right? Do you think if I didn't correct her before, or if I would have only just used the least pressure of her not paying attention before to follow me? Quite possibly. Good. All right. But that's what it should be, right? That's not a big deal. I don't know why people make a big deal out of it. Let me see if I can mess her up again. All right. Oh, good girl. Except that I messed up because I turned before I threw the food, right? So I want to distract her with the food and then turn. She's already paying attention to my body. And she might know this trick now, right? Oh, very nice, good girl. Right? No big deal. Right, so you saw when I did the correction. Here's the other thing. Most people are gonna undercorrect anyways, right? And this is what I always tell people also, right? If with her not paying attention is a 5, let's just say she wants to go for a dog or a person. Let's just say she's at a level 5, right? If she's on her regular collar, you have to put in a 5.2. I should have made her sit. You have to put in a 5.2. When you have this, now, this is just made up by me. This is just what I tell people. Because a lot of times people think they have to go real hard. So you gotta kind of read the person, right? If a person is very frustrated with the way their dog is acting on the leash, they're gonna go harder than they really have to. Generally. Good girl. You see? That's it. Pat, that's it. She didn't freak out, but now she started paying attention, right? Now I can give her food for paying attention. Where was I going? Oh yeah, so if, like with me, if her level is at a 5 or a 3 trying to get to that food, I can go 1. You know what I mean? I don't have to go as high. Now, if it was her mom, and I say that's because of the tool, that gives me about a 0.5 to a 1, depending on that level of arousal. Ah, very nice. Right? I don't know, the first thing I did, so in my certification, the school said, we don't advocate for the use of these tools, talking about prong collars and e-collars, but we suggest you educate yourself on it, right? I thought that was really cool. Now, also, if you're a place giving education, why don't you just educate people on it? That's another story, right? But these ones that are saying, if you're coming out of a school and a certification, you're going, this is torture, you're causing pain on the dog. If you're coming out of a school saying that, if the school is teaching you that, then that's not a school, that's an indoctrination camp. Right? Okay. Oh, we need to play, right? Where'd all the balls go? Right? A school, oh, they're all out there. A school should be giving you advice. Here, you want this? A school should be giving you unbiased information, right? If it's not, then it's not a school. Here you go, girl. Oh man, I was not prepared. But you see, it's no big deal. When you see all those pictures of where they're poked through the skin and all that stuff, it's because it's been misused, improperly fitted. If the dog's screeching, it's improperly fitted. Now, if they go, sometimes if you have to be firmer, they'll be like, "Ugh," but it's not like, "Ah," right? If they're doing that, then it's not fit right. And you also don't want it so tight that there's always pressure laying on it, because they become desensitized to the pressure. So even when you do a correction, they're gonna be like, yeah, whatever. I feel that all day, every day. All right. So, aversive tools save lives, keep dogs in homes, and they keep, you know, in the leash. Some dogs, it keeps them from being just backyard dogs. Now, is there anything wrong with just being a backyard dog? Not necessarily. Depending on the dog. If she's just a backyard dog, when she started coming, she was tearing everything up because she was a backyard dog. I don't know what she was before she got adopted with this lady, but she tried putting her out in the back, and she's digging stuff up and blah, 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 because she hadn't learned to settle down. Right? So that's my spiel. I try not to use them. I try not to use anything, because this is the way I look at it. I don't want to buy anything, right? So I try not to tell people they need to buy something else. Is there people that I have said they need to? Yes. Like her, I was like, well, if you're not going to do all this work and you're going to try to walk her just off of doing my work, then we need to get a prong collar. I need to let her learn with the prong collar for 2 weeks, coming to me. Let her learn from me, get some knowledge. That way, when you take her out, it's going to be easier. That was our conversation. Because at home, she wasn't doing the heel drill stuff. You know, I was a busy lady. Some people don't have time to do all that foundational stuff, right? So luckily, she was able to pay for her to come to me and learn stuff that she could then at least have a base knowledge that when her mom would do it, she understands, right? And it's not just putting it on and jamming on them. Here, girl. Give me that ball. Give me that ball. Let me take this off. I don't know. It's just everybody makes too big of a deal out of nothing, right? And then there's a lot of balance trainers that use these. How did they get sideways like that? What's going on? Is it getting wore out? Where'd my other ball go? There are other people out there that use them and they'll say there's no pain to it. It's a pain, it's an acute pain, it's a mild discomfort. At least say that. I don't know why people just can't tell the truth. But if you're doing it right, it should be very minimal, like a poke. That's annoying as crap to you, isn't it? Yeah, it's annoying to them. So you make something annoying so they don't do what you don't want them to do. And you make the other part fun as well, and then boom, it's all good. All good, man. Anyways, and if people are using them, leave them alone. It's none of your business. You don't know what they've been through. If you don't like it, don't like it. Don't use it. How about that? But don't tell other people what they can and can't do. Just leave people alone, man. Most people are trying their best. Right? Most people will do like Oscar's mom. She's like, look, man, the guys at the pet store told me to use this. I want to see what you think, because I've been going to Oscar for 2 years now, And she has mobility problems, you know what I mean? So she has mobility pains, and he's a border collie, right? So you got a lady with mobility problems and a border collie. So even after he's exercised, he needs to come down out of that drive for her to walk him, even with going to a prong. But that's what most people will do. That most people like, you tell me to use this, okay, let me check it out. I think that's where a lot of the problem comes from, is that people at the stores are saying, here, just put this on there, right? Because that's what they think. Oh, we'll just put this on there. The tool's not gonna do the job. Ideally, you're teaching the dog to avoid any kind of pain or pressure, and so that way, when you do have to use a correction or release pressure, it's going to be very minimal, and it's not going to be a whole lot, right? So if you put it on there and you just have to start correcting them, you're going to have to correct a lot, because you got to correct it down. You got to correct it down and out. Whereas if you spend more time teaching what you want, and then get into a little correction and still rewarding what we want, the level of correction can be way down, and the amount of times you're going to have to correct are way less, right? At least that's the idea. Where are you going, girl? It's time for you to go up anyways. I think we're close to an hour now. Excuse you, pig. I don't know, dude. That's my spiel. Leave people alone.